You'll love who you want. You'll demand fair and equal pay. You will not allow where you come from to dictate where you're going. You will be heard, not dismissed. You will be connected, not alone. Change starts now.
So, that was a T-Mobile commercial.
Can I say that between takes, those babies were probably kicking the shit out of each other?
Yeah, probably.
They're probably just clawing at each other's faces.
For people who are listening and aren't watching the video feed, it's a shot of a bunch of babies, all of different races, I guess. And number one, I'll tell you what bugs me about commercials like that is right away one of the babies is like crying, and I just can't. I can't help but being like, could someone pick up and console that baby? Like, what? This baby's looking up at some crazy bright light and a camera panning over them, and it's like you're like using these babies to make a point. But I mean, it's so the idea that so there's all these different races of babies. We're kind of pushing this message of whatever left-wing gooey nonsense. So babies, that you are all equal, and you will demand equal and fair pay. Look, I know we took on this idea a couple episodes ago. If you didn't listen, it's titled "Stupid in Theory and Evil in Practice." But this is really, this makes sense when you're talking to babies. If you're talking to babies or maybe toddlers or maybe anything up to like the age of 5 or something like that, yeah, it makes sense to just be lovey-dovey and mushy and nice, and that's what we say. The real problem is when you try to treat adults this way and try to push this message on adults. And, this is the problem. Is that they want to take this message, which applies very nicely to children, and push it on adults. Because, it's like, if you listen to when I was on Duncan Trussell's podcast, like last year, he talked about this, and someone, made this analogy to him, he repeated it to me. And he was saying, like, the reason we need government is the same reason that kids need parents. And this happens a lot. When people are trying to defend tyranny, they'll use the analogy of parents and children. Because parents and children is where, it's not just where, like, lovey-dovey, mushy things, not telling them about the real-world problems. Like, if your kid is, like worried about something, like, what if, your 4-year-old's like, what if someone hurts me? Or what if someone breaks into our house? Or what if someone does this? The right thing to do is to just give them a message of, like, nobody's ever going to hurt you. Nobody's ever going to break into our house. You got to, like, fucking, just comfort them. That's not necessarily what you do to an adult. Because to an adult, you might be like, yeah, that would be bad. Shit, that could happen. That's the truth. But truth doesn't always go with kids. With kids, you're not supposed to just give them the harsh truth. You're supposed to comfort them and be, mushy and kind and all that stuff, right? So that's one element of it. Yeah, adults don't want to be treated that way.